classic David versus Goliath company on this episode of Taking Off. Hey, I'm Dan Milliken. We're sponsored by Gold Seal, groundschool.com, and Wingfield Aviation, your go-to maintenance airplane shop. So we're continuing our series of post-Oshkosh, and I want to bring to you a more in-depth interview with the little company that could, and that's Lightspeed Aviation. Teresa, introduce yourself and what you do.
Oh, thank you. Well, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. I'm Teresa Demers. I'm the Executive Vice President at Lightspeed Aviation and a pilot.
Nice.
Yeah, private pilot since 1997, and I added the instrument rating a few years after that. And last year I earned my commercial certificate. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll never fly for hire, but I just wanted to have a kind of a challenge and do it, and it was a lot of fun. Harder than I expected, but a lot of fun.
CFI next?
I don't know. I've thought about it, but not in the near future.
Okay, so you're the EVP of what?
So, Lightspeed's a privately held company, relatively small business, and so I wear a lot of hats. A lot of sales and marketing functions, some partnership things, stuff like that too.
Okay, you used the word small business. Okay, I've always thought about you and the other guys as being really big companies.
Yeah.
And I own Lightspeed. I've dealt with customer service and everything else. I've always thought you guys are a huge company.
Yeah. Well, thank you. People in aviation, we are, because it's a smaller category of products, and yes, there's one other brand that we compete head to head with that's a gigantic company, and that's really one of the things that is one of the differences when people are evaluating their headsets and who they want to buy from. The Lightspeed story is part of that, and we're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. Founded in 1996, our founder still runs and leads the company, and so so we're able to be very entrepreneurial, move very quickly, we innovate very quickly. Some people might be surprised to know that a lot of the features that we take for granted in premium and our headsets today are things that Lightspeed was the first to bring to market. Some of those things include Bluetooth, connectivity, auto shut-off, calm priority. I could go down a long list of those. But so we really serve the pilot community. We're all about aviation products, all about aviation headsets primarily, and so we come to shows like this. We estimate in a week at Oshkosh that between all of the team that we have here, we'll probably talk to 10,000 customers.
Wow.
Yes, and again, Alan, our founder and owner, is here. One of those people you're going to talk to. You're going to talk to me. You're going to talk to everyone, and we take all of that feedback and input that we get from pilots as well as our own flying, and develop products that are that solve problems, that create a safer environment. We're very motivated for that too, and so that's a little bit about Lightspeed. So yeah.
I'm just blown away. I really did not know that you guys were a small company. I'm caught by surprise on that.
Not teeny tiny, but.
Well, I know, but I've been thinking about you guys as large as your competitor.
Mm-hmm.
And if I jumped over to the competitor booth, would I talk to the CEO and president?
No, well, no, but.
But here you will.
Yes, you certainly can, absolutely. If you come in on any given day in here and get a demo, if it's a tall guy and he doesn't completely reveal his name, that might be him.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so standing here at a slightly rainy Osh, what would AirVenture be without a little bit of rain?
Right.
So we're hiding under the things. Standing here, I've talked to you about, I have Sierras, and I've mentioned to everybody else I have Sierras. And my braid is starting to get worn after the 6 years. What's the deal with this braided cord?
Thank you for asking about that, and thank you for your Sierra business too. So most headset cables are a traditional kind of PVC coated cable like this one, and that's what our Sierra has, and that's what other manufacturers have as well. About 6 years ago, we introduced a product and put this cable on it. We call this the Kevlar reinforced cable. Each of the conductors in here has a Kevlar core, and then it's wrapped with silver and copper alloys. It's super strong, it's super flexible, it also conducts sound very, very nicely. And so it's just, it has proven itself in the field to be incredibly reliable. So at the stress points, and anybody who has a headset knows that, you know, where there's a a bend, that can be a very bad stress point. And also too, just you know, so this is much more reliable there. I could tell you that hundreds of thousands of cycle times that this can do, but it's incredibly reliable. And then the other thing is that it's very nice to wear. It's lightweight, and so when you're wearing it, it doesn't have a tendency to get caught up in your collar or anything. It's durable in many ways, and so in part because of this cable, it is also why on the Zulu 3, which has this cable, we have a 7-year warranty.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are other reasons for that too, but we just really believe in our products, and that's by far the industry best. Other headsets and our competitors have 5 years or less. So yeah, but the cable is amazing, and it's not necessarily something you think about, particularly the wearing part of it, until you do it. But the ones, as soon as you put it on, you're like, wow, this is amazing. So.
Okay, well, I will tell you this, that a lot of companies will say, oh, we really believe in our products and we really stand behind our products. But I'll tell you from personal experience, on my Sierra with the cable, I did have a problem early on, sent it in, and your support people took care of it, like, and then when it came back, it had new muffs and everything. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So yes, I've experienced your support, and I was blown away by it.
Well, thank you. I mean, our ultimate goal is that people don't have to experience our support,
Sure.
and
But stuff happens.
And stuff does happen, and that they're very sensitive pieces of electronics, or very sophisticated, and so things do happen, and we take a lot of pride in that. I would say another thing that's really a Lightspeed hallmark is our attention to customer support, and it's not, again, just lip service.
Right.
When you call our office, you will get a human that answers, and when you talk to someone, if you say, hey, something's wrong with my headset, or I think, can I troubleshoot with someone, the people on our phones are trained. They fly with our products, they know how to answer questions, they're empowered to solve problems.
You don't have a call center in India or
no,
something
it's
that
not,
handles it?
and we don't even call it a call center. It's first of all, it's in Portland, Oregon, where our offices are, Lake Oswego, Oregon, where we also do some manufacturing, where we do all of our repair work, our engineering, customer support, sales and marketing. And and we don't call them a call center. They're really professional customer support people, and it takes a while to get trained to do it. And,
well, the one time I used it, I can attest to it. I was like, oh, okay. I got a person, and they took care of it, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Which I guess then brings up my next question. What separates Lightspeed from the competition?
Well, it's a good question, and people ask us that all day long. And there's again really one other competitor. If someone's shopping for a premium active noise reduction headset, for the most part, it's a 2-horse race on that, and we know that when people are coming in. So we're glad to talk about that. Both companies make great products. We do, they do, and in many ways there are a lot of similarities between the two products.
Especially when they copy you.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, but they both have great active noise reduction. As I mentioned, we've been doing this for 25 years now. They've been doing it a long time. It's a mature technology. It's kind of table stakes now. It's really, the ANR is great. We have a lot of similar features now, like Bluetooth and comm priority, some of the things we mentioned. So we really focus on the things that are different. And the Kevlar cable from a product standpoint is one of them. We also have people take a look at some of the materials that we use in our headset. On a Zulu 3, there's almost no plastic. So when you look at it, you don't always realize that when you're looking at the ear cups themselves are magnesium, and the headband is stainless steel, and most of the parts through our sliders are magnesium as well. So it's really premium materials, really high-end, a nice feel. That all adds to the durability of the headset as well, which is, again, part of the 7-year warranty. And then, again, because we're privately held and based in Portland, Oregon, and I'm still founder-led, and we're all really passionate about aviation. I think it's just a little bit of a different company feel too, right?
Yeah.
You can.
I'm finding that.
Yeah, and so not good or bad, just very different, and we're very involved in the aviation community. We also have a foundation, the Lightspeed Aviation Foundation.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yes.
What's that?
That was founded in 2010, and again, out of Alan's kind of heart to give back to the business that's been, to the industry that's been great for us. So it's had a variety of programs over the years, but what I would say is probably about at this point 50 aviation charities have been beneficiaries of the foundation, and probably Upwards of $500,000
Wow.
self-funded. Yeah, so a lot of initiatives for growth. We all of us want to continue to see the next generation come in, so we fund things that support that. Also initiatives, a lot of missionary aviation kinds of programs
Cool.
have benefited as well. And other people that use their aircraft for compassion is kind of the way we call it. So whether it's doing animal rescue or human rescue, a lot of pilots will just take their airplanes and rush to where there's been a hurricane or something like that.
Right.
We support the organizations that create that infrastructure. So, or we have over the years, not all of them all the time. But yeah, so that's I think another difference. Again, those guys do good stuff too, but we're just really invested in the aviation community.
What do aviators look for? What are the main features they look for in buying headsets?
A little bit depends on the person, but I think, if people were to rate the kind of 1, 2, and 3, the quieting, if you're going to buy a headset that's $600 to $1,000, you want that quieting to be good. Again, I think they all sort of qualify in that range. Comfort then becomes really the key thing.
Okay.
And there are a lot of things that we do to engineer comfort into our headsets. I can certainly go through some of those features.
Let's do it.
But one of the things we really encourage people to do is also try headsets on, and if you can do it side by side, that's even better. But when you look at a Lightspeed ear cup, it starts with the ear cup, because this is the part that's touching you. When you look at the cup, you'll see that it's a little bit bigger, and it gives you the opportunity to get your whole ear inside that cup, behind that ear seal. And so when you put on a headset, if you kind of think about it, is my ear or part of my ear touching the headset? If it is, that's going to be a pain point over time. And then the other thing we do is have a lot more surface area in our ear seals, and that also creates comfort because it just has more area that whatever
Spreads it
pressure
apart,
is resting, yeah. And when you look at our ear seals, you can see that they're wider here and here, which is
Yeah.
really where your temples are. So if you're wearing glasses or sunglasses, which is every pilot and passenger, then it's going to be much more comfortable to wear glasses and sunglasses.
Plus flying eyes, so we get nice and thin.
Yes, perfect example. Yeah. So those are some of the things. We also construct it, with this shape over the top. It's a little bit of a different philosophy, and this is really, it helps to spread the pressures out evenly, across the shape of a head. It rests lightly on the head. The beautiful thing about active noise reduction is that you don't have to have the clamping force to aid in the quieting, because the electronic signals are helping with the
Right.
quieting. It just has to be tight enough that you have a good seal there. It doesn't have to be, smashed on. So
Okay.
they rest nicely on the head too. So those are some of the things that we engineer in for comfort, and yeah, beautiful, isn't it?
Very beautiful.
It just-
You use the word active and passive noise canceling a
Yes.
lot. Okay, as somebody in the video industry, I know what noise canceling is, and to me, passive is a bit of a cheat term.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that covers your ears could be called passive noise canceling. That's what a headphone or headset does.
Right, even an in-ear plug does passive
Right.
canceling, right?
Yeah. So, what is the difference between passive noise canceling and active noise canceling?
I guess the easiest way to answer that is passive means that there's no electronics doing anything. It's either a clamping thing or an in-the-ear thing. With active, then we're using technology to help dampen the noise, and many people probably at this point have seen the charts, but sound is a pressure wave,
Yeah.
and so the sound is coming into that ear cup. The system is designed to measure that sound either outside the ear cup or right as it enters, but before it gets to your ear canal, and then create a opposite wave to be able to cancel that. And so in that split second between when the sound is at the outside of the cup and when it gets to your ear canal, it's able to make that that correction and reduce the sound. And many people, and I'm glad we're talking about this because there are some myths around ANR,
Yeah.
and so sometimes we like to dispel some of the myths too. And one of them is that sometimes you'll see this on aviation forums or something where it's either masking the sound or it's doubling the pressure or something like that. People will think, and it really doesn't. It really is equalizing the pressure. Those two waves coming in, the original sound and then the anti-sound signal, actually are reducing the SPL, the sound pressure level in there, and reducing. They really are reducing the sound that's getting to the ear. And then one of the other things that people sometimes will ask is, well, I don't want it to be so quiet that I can't hear my engine. I'm afraid I won't hear if there's a problem or something, right? And
I still hear the engine.
You can still, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like silent.
Well, and I can always go like this for a second too.
You can, and interestingly, anomalies will actually come through more. So if you really do have sort of a misfire or something going on, because that drone has been removed, you actually will hear it. So
you'll hear something that's different from the drone.
Exactly, yeah. And so so those are a couple of things that you know, I think the vast majority of pilots now have grown.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody downplay active before.
Right.
I haven't heard that argument, but
Right.
you know, what I've heard is that if you fly with no active noise canceling, that you can damage your hearing in some of these piston aircraft.
Yeah, so we don't sell them as hearing protection devices,
Right.
but certainly they are removing some of that sound from your ears, and it has to be good for you, right?
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so headsets in the aviation community are about as polarized as American politics right now. Mac versus PC, Coke versus Pepsi. Why do you think that is?
Oh, I could tell by the look on your face you were going to ask me a hard question.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I guess it is sort of a Coke versus Pepsi thing, right? You know, if one spouse likes one and one likes the other, it's just very.
Well, and the aviators are like, oh, it's got to be this one, or it's got to be that one.
Right,
I mean, they
right.
fight it like Coke versus Pepsi.
Right. Yeah, you know, I think people get loyal to their brands,
Yeah.
right? And you know, same thing with cars and other things too. So yeah, and we're out here trying to work to make people want to be loyal to our brand, I guess.
Yeah. Well, again, I get a bit of a fanboy here because I'm a Lightspeed guy, so I'm loyal to my brand, but you guys have proven it. If you guys had not had the support, and finding out that you're a small company and aviators that are driving it, to me, that just blows me away. And I'm even more of a fanboy now than I ever was.
Thank you.
So, all right. Now, I'm a YouTube content creator. You guys, I noticed as I join the mailing list, I get a link to a YouTube video series that you guys will do, and I've watched a couple of those. What's that about?
Well, thank you. Yeah, so a couple years ago, I became a YouTube content creator as well. So Lightspeed does a lot of videos, and we've got our Lightspeed Aviation YouTube channel. But a couple of years ago, we wanted to start doing more video. And again, you know, when you have a smaller team, you kind of figure out like, how are we going to make this happen? And so I said, you know what? I meet all these amazing people and go to amazing places just because of the nature of my job. Why don't I just drag along a camera? I can create some stuff that'll be super interesting to people. Well, it's way harder to do than it looks.
Yes, it is. People don't understand how much work goes into creating videos.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a team here today, right?
Yeah.
Multiple cameras, multiple mics. Yeah, it takes a lot to do. But I think people, appreciate a little bit the homespun nature of what we're trying to do as professional as we can. And so we created a series called Aviation No Tie Downs. And its theme really is about the business, the people, and the adventure of aviation. And so we've got about a dozen episodes out there now from all over the world, and some really great talks with heroes. One of my favorites is with a friend of mine named Hank Canterbury, who's a retired Major General, served in the Air Force, did 2 tours in Vietnam. I think, if I remember, over 300 combat flights. Actually had to ditch in the ocean,
wow.
and had to get rescued at one point. So anyways, we talked to him about his life of serving and flying. At the time we did it, I'm looking forward to seeing him here this week. He'll be at Oshkosh, but at the time we did it, I think he was 81, still flying competitive aerobatics.
Oh, wow.
And still doing flight training with the Bonanza Proficiency Organization and stuff too. So, but we went to the Air Force Base, Luke Air Force Base in Arizona, and did a whole thing there. So that's an example of an episode. We also did a behind the scenes at an air show with a performance team that we sponsored at the time, and so people kind of get to see what dirt dancing is, and not dirty dancing,
right, but
dirt dancing. Yeah, you probably know what that is. And so, anyways, just a lot of fun stuff like that. So, and those are on the Lightspeed Aviation YouTube channel. But yeah, it's way harder than it looks. I really admire the YouTubers like you who are able to produce regular content on a regular basis and make it look really good.
And that's a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are known for headsets. Do you have any other products that you guys have been rolling out?
We do, thank you. Yes, we about maybe 6 or 7 years ago introduced a line of flight bags.
Oh.
And again, because we're aviators, it became, to me, it seemed like there was a missing piece of the market. There's a lot of great flight bags out there that are kind of in that $100 and under range, or somewhere in that price range. But if you really wanted like a premium flight bag, maybe something made of leather, and designed for the modern pilot, so it's iPad capable, and maybe it holds your ADS-B receiver and your GoPro camera and more of those kinds of things, it didn't seem like there was anything out there for that. And I have a little history of those kinds of products. So we created our own Lightspeed Aviation flight bag, adventure flight bag collection, we call it. They're made out of top grain leather. We have 2 models in the line right now, and we're adding a 3rd one this fall, which we're unveiling here at Oshkosh.
So big AirVenture news
yes,
right here.
AirVenture news right here.
So that'll fit my laptop.
It holds a laptop. Yes, we can kind of look at all the pockets. It's, again, this is designed for pilots. So the back section can hold an iPad and a laptop, actually, both of those. In the interior, in the main cavity, it will hold a headset. In one of a couple of ways. One, there's a little insert cavity here that has a flap, and this will exactly hold a Zulu 3 right in there.
Right.
So you can put your Zulu 3 in and put that in and still have plenty of room for other things and not have to worry that that's getting affected at all. You can also, I won't take the time to do it right now, but this little hook, you can also hook your headset into the top of the bag.
For a quick
yeah,
kind of
right.
move.
Yeah, exactly. And store your headset that way too, and then have all your heavier things in the bottom if you want to do that. Yeah, and then we've got a nice
passport keys kind of thing.
Yes, or sunglasses. Yeah, right here
sunglasses.
It's kind of a fur-lined pocket.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yes, and then here, pockets for logbook, pens, pencils, key fob, that kind of stuff. On the side, there's a pocket for a transceiver, and it has the antenna keep. So
Gosh,
so again,
that would be really good.
it's,
yeah.
I wish I had one here. You could see it fits in there perfectly, and this expands, so it's has a nice sleek look if you don't want to, if your radio's not in there, but it holds it nicely. And then on the other side, basically the same concept, but it holds a tall water bottle over here too, with this expanding pocket. So we think everything that pilots want to carry, this is perfect for, and it could be used for work and flying, because with the iPad, all that. Shoulder straps on the back that can be also, we focus grouped this actually several weeks ago and put the fine touches to it. And one of the things the focus group said, they really wanted to be able to sort of batten down these, and so we have a strap on here that holds those out, but otherwise you just pull out the straps, and that turns it into the backpack.
Are these available now?
They're available in around November of this year.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how much are they going to retail for?
This, we don't know for sure yet, but probably it'll be between $250 and $300.
Okay.
Again, full green leather, and it also,
to me, that's not unreasonable for
what it is.
Fur-lined leather, everything else. Because I've been actually shopping bags for my camera gears.
Yes.
So interesting. So I know what the market is right now because I've been looking.
The bottom is also important. It has, it's a PVC bottom with no feet on it.
Okay.
So again, our pilot focus groups told us they don't want feet because they like to set it on the wing of the airplane maybe sometimes or something. Don't want something there that might dent or scratch. And the PVC bottom is also really good because it will, if you set it down in the wet grass or the mud or whatever, you're not going to be doing any damage to your leather. So anyways, all the features on our newest flight bag.
And you have a couple other flight bags
and
too.
they mostly have all those same features. This one's just now in the backpack shape.
Okay. All right, so let's move this over here.
All right.
And you've got something else that you guys have gotten into.
We also, about 4 years ago.
That is gorgeous.
Isn't this a beautiful, we had this one custom painted and we really like it a lot. We call this one Stars and Stripes. We're not in the helmet business.
No.
We are in the business of providing active noise reduction to pilots that wear helmets. And so many pilots, particularly helicopter pilots, but some fixed wing as well, wear helmets. Law enforcement, firefighting, search and rescue, all of those pilots are required to wear helmets or choose to wear helmets, and there hasn't been a good option for them in active noise reduction, if you can believe it. So even as mature as this technology is, until the last 4 years, they were either taking apart headsets and trying to jimmy rig them in there or doing something else.
Right.
And so Alan, our founder, threw down the gauntlet because we
need to do something.
Yes, we have got to create something for these guys. So we clean sheeted a design, and actually we have 2 products now for different kinds of helmets, and pretty much have something that'll fit any helmet. So a customer would buy a helmet, and then the helmet integrator will put that in. So we have a list of certified installers that have been certified to do an installation. So it's a little bit like certified avionics, where there's certain places where you can buy it, and then they'll put it in for you. It's not super hard, but there are some technical things
Okay.
about getting it just right.
Well, they're helicopter pilots are probably used to complicated.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
They are. So you're right.
Well,
Good.
Teresa, thanks for spending some time with us and telling us about Lightspeed. I've learned, even as a Lightspeed customer for all my pilot life,
Yes.
I didn't know a lot of this. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome, and I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
An aviation question. Let's see. What's your favorite airport to land at?
To land at?
Yes.
Well, it'd have to be For the Win. Foxtrot, Tango, Whiskey, Fort Worth Meacham.
Okay, awesome. All right.
And I say
great.
that because my associate producer is right there and he's a tower controller.
Oh, of course, yeah. So the tower controller gets the nod. Okay,
Yes.
excellent. Yes, and I know you did a video on your landing at Oshkosh. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing here yet, but how was that experience?
Hashtag not a Skyhawk. That's my experience. Hashtag not a Skyhawk. So over Fisk, I was super nervous, and I didn't need to be. I came in Saturday morning when it was very light. It was raining a little bit, but light traffic. I didn't see a plane up there.
Wow.
And
yeah.
I'd really worked myself into too much preparation almost. I should have just relaxed.
Right. No, I
but
understand that. I
Everything
feel
went
safe.
great.
Yeah.
Over Fisk, hey, Centurion, rock your wings. Okay, so Centurion. Then I get into the downwind. He's talking to some Skyhawk, and I just, okay, Skyhawk, I don't even listen to what he told the Skyhawk because I'm waiting for my call. And about, I'm gonna beam the end here. I need to be doing something. I was just about to call him, and you see the look of panic on my face, but, and he's yelling at a Skyhawk.
Like that poor guy.
Yeah, so you can see where that went. And anyway, a nice commercial turn into the runway. We made it fine, just landed just past the green dot. But but then the last thing is I understand what this means. I understand what everything else. I do not know what this means. So.
What does it mean for the audience? What does that mean?
Show your sign is what I'm guessing that means.
Okay.
I've still never read it. It's not in the NOTAM.
Maybe someone can put it in the comments.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I've already had some comments on that. But when they do this, you need. And I had my sign up in the window, so that's why I wasn't thinking, what in the world is that? So anyway,
great,
it
yeah.
was great.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. It was
Thank you,
really great
Teresa.
to meet you today. Yeah. Thanks.
Alrighty. Thank you.